I can hear you, Tom. You know that. The other team isn't even out yet, Tommy. Oh, there they are. And when they start to go out, count as they start to go out for the coin toss, count me down and we'll start it.
And freshman assistant Mark Albright.
Hello again, everyone. It's Ashland High School football. Live on tape from Walker Field. Tonight's game being played on September 19th, 2003. And tonight, the Ashland High School Clockers host the Newton South High School Lions. Clockers played the Lions last year. The game was played at Boston College's Alumni Stadium. And after a very good first half in which the Lions led by one touchdown, 7-0, they blew out the Clockers in the second half, ended up winning 27-0. And the Clockers are looking forward to a better performance than that tonight on their home field. Clockers coming off a good game last week against the Western Wildcats here at the Grump. An excellent game. Went down to the final play, Ashland losing 12-7. And it was a game where the Clockers really showed a lot of courage. Weston got the opening kickoff, went the length of the field, getting first down after first down. And sometimes that can really take the wind out of a team. But the Clockers came back and really played tough defensively after that. And I think that's going to hold them in good stead for the rest of the season, because they know they can stop teams. They're up against a much bigger line that the Western Wildcats had, and they really were not overmatched at all. And a very exciting running by Michael Richwine and Tommy DeSalvo, and about 7 or 8 sophomores really got a lot of experience last game. Danny Norton, Mike Richwine, Tommy DeSalvo, Mark Pacholi, Mike Karam, Hector Famagna, Scott Richwine, Steve Ciccarella all saw a lot of action, their first starting varsity action.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread glare, the bombs bursting in air. Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ashland High School junior Erin Gallagher, assisted by Jessica Teller on the Star-Spangled Banner. Interesting enough, of course, that was a song that was written 189 years ago this week, Francis Scott Key, as he watched the battle rage over Fort McHenry in Baltimore. was thusly inspired and wrote the great song that is now the national anthem. So we're just about ready. 15 sophomores on this Ashland team, and boy, did about 10 of them got an awful lot of experience last week. And Joe Nagelberg also in the mix, Tyler Knapp, Jeff Blackler, Ed Corky, John Hughes, Derek McAdams, and Nick Anderson at the ready. The Lions have won the toss. They've elected to the receive. Joey Nagelberg will send it for Ashland. And they kick from the 40 in high school football, 35 in college, 30 in the pros. The clock does not start till the ball is touched by a Newton Sep Lion, and that ball goes sideways out of bounds. And I guess that was an onside kick, maybe an unintentional one. It just went wild off to the side, and there was no mad scramble for it, I guess possibly because it went out of bounds so quickly and did not go the 10 yards required. It's an illegal procedure against the Clockers. The Lions turn it down because they want nice field position already in Ashland territory at the Ashland 47 without ever touching the ball.
And the Lions will have the ball at
The Lions wearing blue pants, blue helmets, and kind of tangerine numbers, virtually impossible to see, but number 12 is their quarterback. And he's Eric Jonash. We'll see if we can get the running backs for you. Clockers pack it in pretty good of trying to defend the run, as they must and as they do on first down. As they send the Lions for a loss. And 2nd and 13, you can't start on defense any better than that.
Ball is now on the right on the 50-yard line. There'll be a second rather and 13.
2nd and 13, 2 in the backfield, 1 in the slot for the NS Lions. Up the middle, good running room, a nice tackle from behind by 26, Steve Ciccarella. But a big 12-yard gain, 3rd and 1, 2 down territory for the NS Lions. That made them feel a lot better. After getting stuffed on first down, they'll be feeling their oats now. Scott Richwine starting at defensive end, I guess you'd say, 77 tonight. 76 for Ashland, Tim Ahrens, the senior. He's your other end. Clock has put 6 on the line, 3 linebackers, and Mike Carrat, the quarterback and safety. They run outside with great success. It's about a 13-yard gain, and the first down of the game goes to the Lions.
Brought down by Tim Thomas.
Ball at the 25, right on the 25.
More than enough for a first down for Newton Sep. The ball will be on the
Perry in, Richwine out.
25-yard line.
Mike Perry, number 70, played a great game against Weston a week ago. Clock is packed in even a little tighter this time. Right till they try the left side with some pretty good running room. Another 8-yard pickup this time. 2nd and 2 coming up.
Ball carrier Jesse Houston. Gain of about 7, maybe 8.
Newton Sep pretty much having their way here in the early going. They started with great field position, which the Clockers really can't afford, and they've shown the ability to move the ball against this Ashland defense. Hector Famagna, 71, is guarding the right side on the Ashland defensive line. They went at him last time. Let's see what they do this time. They try the other side with more success. Big hole, and this goes down inside the 5 to the 3.
Down close to the goal line. First down.
Number 45 getting a lot of carries. And that's Jesse Houston, the senior. First and goal at the 3. Or inside the 3. Shouldn't see anything too fancy here. Clock is looking to cause a fumble, in my mind at least. Houston up the middle, gets one, bounces off, goes to the outside, tries to turn the corner, and does. 6 points west for Newton South, and they take the lead 6-0.
South is on the board.
So let me check my figures here. 47 yards in 6 plays, and an much too easy touchdown to start this game for the Newton South Lions. Coach Ruggles has to be very, very worried on the Ashland sideline. The third-year coach knows that those points came much, much too easy. So he'll have to make an adjustment on defense. They're going to try for 1. Snap back ball down, looks good, is good, 7-0. Timeout on the field. 7:58 left to go. First period, Newton South 7, Ashland nothing. And now the Clockers will get the ball, and we'll see what they can do. Richmond and DeSalvo both had about 55 yards rushing last week. DeSalvo had the Clockers' first touchdown of the season. Nagelberg kicked the extra point, and that was the scoring for Ashland. It came in the very last minute of the game to make it 12-7. The onside kick failed, and the Clockers and the Wildcats took a knee, and that was the game. But it was very exciting to see the Clockers block a punt and then take it into the end zone, never giving up, playing hard all the way. Big play in the game was a fake punt that just did not connect. It was open, but the pass just did not connect, and it gave Weston, who was leading at the time 6-0, they gave Weston the ball in Ashland territory, and it inspired them as a kid, a sophomore, came into the game named Henry Blyler, and he took it right in. Henry Lieber, I guess his name was, and he took most of the carries as they went about 45 yards to seal that game. Michael Richwine with an opening, and he collapsed for some reason around the 40-yard line, and a very, very exciting run back by another sophomore, Mike Richwine. So Clockers start with pretty good field position, their own 40. Can't ask for much more than that. The quarterback for Ashland is number 22, the senior co-captain, Michael Karat. The other captain, Tim Thomas, 57. Out they come. Our center is Kevin Pierce, number 50. Karat calling signals, 3 in the backfield. Michael keeps it. No, he dished it. I'm guessing DeSalvo, loose football. Ashland recovers. A lot of action.
Ball carrier for the Clockers appeared to be Tom DeSalvo. Gain of about 5.
Clockers pick up 5. They had a lot of those 5-yard gains a week ago and ran very effectively, primarily up the middle. Although Richwine did break one outside on the touchdown drive. DeSalvo in the fullback position, Richwine in motion. Tommy gets it again, running hard. First down, Ashland into Western territory, into Newton South territory. Newton South ball hawking, causing some hard feelings. First down at the 40, we'll call it the 44. 7-yard, 6-yard pickup. .11-minute periods being played now. by Ashland High for the last couple of seasons. Used to be 10. DeSalvo plies the middle again. This time nothing doing. I'm going to give him a yard on that. Second down and 9.5.
Second and 8 for the Clockers.
Clockers with a very loose huddle. Mike Karat keeps it this time, shows some good speed. Bursts up around the 40. And the third down play coming up, 3rd and 5. Running to Mike Perry's side, behind Mike Perry, number 70.
Getting down to the 45-yard line of Newton Sep. It'll be a 3rd and 6 coming up for the Clockers.
Hector Famagna, 71. Scott Richwine, 77. Mike's brother opening holes on the right side. Karat keeps it. Tries to get outside, got the first down and a little more. Breaking into the clear, breaks another tackle. He's inside the 20. Biggest gain of the year for Ashland. See where they mark it. I'm going to call it the 19, a 25-yard scamper, Mike Karat. He's got some speed if he can get some open field, and he showed it there.
Around the 20-yard line of Newton Sep.
So Ashland moving the ball. They showed the ability last week to move the ball on offense, and they're picking up right where they left off tonight against the Newton South Lions. And we've got a timeout. Coach Ruggles on the field. Now they start the clock and we're ready to play. No timeout was called. Clock running, under 5 minutes left to go in the first period. Newton South 7, Ashland nothing. Clockers driving. DeSalvo the fullback. Richwine in the right slot. Jeff DeLuca in the left slot, 80. DeSalvo gets it, bowls ahead for 3 yards.
That's Tom DeSalvo again, the ball carrier for the Clockers. Matt Starring on the tackle for Newton Sep. A gain of about 3. It will be 3rd and 7.
Oh, planted. DeSalvo had a head of steam up and he was planted, but not until, I should say, he picked up 5 more yards, bringing up a 3rd 2.5. Hard running Tommy DeSalvo. First career touchdown last week. One of the sophomores. Only 4 juniors and 4 seniors in this Ashland varsity. 15 sophomores. Who's got it? DeSalvo again. Pounding inside.
Close to a first down.
Looks like a first down to me, and it is a first down.
And it is. First down, Clockers.
I'm going to call it the 7.5, 1st and goal.
Line of scrimmage is inside the 10-yard line, so it's 1st and goal for the Clockers.
Same backfield they've used all game. The motion starts, and perhaps it was a problem because it looks like a 5-yard procedure penalty coming up against Ashland. Not something you like to see, but a part of the game. And now a first and goal at the 12 and a half.
Penalty against Ashland for a legal procedure. Ball is back over the 10 now. It is about a first and just over 10 yards for a touchdown.
Jim Thomas wearing 56 tonight. Who's got it? Looks like Jeff DeLuca got a carry. No, it was Tommy again. DeLuca leading the blocking. Not much there. And a second down play coming up.
Gain of about a yard. It'll be second and goal from the 10.
No play, whistles blow. Karat knows it's against Ashland, and this is going to cost them another 5. So things have started to go crazy here for Ashland as they start going backwards here. Have lost all their momentum that they had going towards that end zone. Doesn't look like the clock has completely understand the call. Timeout, Newton South. First timeout of the game. 5 timeouts per half per team when you play here at Walker Field. It's a non-league game, of course. Clock is open the TVL season next week. Again, right here at the Grump, a Thursday night game. 7 p.m. So Ashland going to regroup, talk it over. They got 3 plays, but they got to get in the end zone. If you're thinking field goal, Joey has shown a good foot on an extra point try he had last week. So I think he could try a field goal if it comes to that, although it's a risky business in high school football. A very short timeout. The teams come out, they're ready to go. Kevin Piers, the center, leading the way. They get the play from the quarterback, Mike Karat. See what they got. Richwine gets it, tries the right side, and gets nothing out of it. Newton South all over that play. Richwine could not even come close to turning the corner.
Mike Richwine made that, thank you. Saw the 5.
That's Richwine's first carry of the night, although he did return a
Third
kickoff.
and goal from about the 12 for the clock.
Now it's a 3rd and goal, and timeout. Ashland a 22nd timeout, which they have now. Last few years. This is going to be a complicated play. If the Clockers are going to get in the end zone, they may go to the air. They only went to the air about 3 or 4 times last week, and they completed a couple of passes, those sideline type passes, where the quarterback takes the snap and just throws it right down the sideline to the end at the line of scrimmage, and they really got nothing on the completions. One long pass intended for Ciccarella at the corner of the end zone, about a 30-yard pass, was broken up. But we might see something like that now. It's a good spot for it.
Delay was caused. The clock had to be reset back to 1 minute and 25 seconds in the first quarter.
All right, here we go. 3rd and goal at the 12. The other wideout, number 20, Danny Norton. It's a run, and not a successful one.
Looked like it was a quarterback keeper by Mike Karat. Gain of maybe a yard on the play. It'll be a 4th and 10 for a touchdown coming up for the Clockers.
So now it's 4th and goal. Clockers are out of plays. Nagelberg is in the game. We might see a field goal. He wears 88, and yes, they are going to try it. The holder, Scott Picard, the freshman quarterback, the backup to Karat. 27-yarder goes right into the line. Blocked. Caught. Uh-oh. Trying the left side. Man, oh man, they get good field position out of it. Driven out of bounds, but not before he returned it about 40 yards to the Newton 40-yard line. Actually, the 35. Or thereabouts. Now they're saying he stepped out at the 32. And the Lions will start there. So that one never had a chance as Joey drove it into the line. And it was blocked. Popped up into the air, was caught in the air by Newton South defender, and he took it up the sideline for a nice 30-yard return to get the Lions some decent field position at least, and that's where they're going to start. And the way the Clockers have got to stop them, they can't let what happened the first series happen again. Much too much running room. Now he cuts it inside, and an excellent run by number 41, Dion Benjamin, the senior, running back and linebacker. They mark it at the 50, which is an 18-yard run by Benjamin. Not bad. And another first down for the Lions. Now, we have a timeout at the end of the first period with the score Newton South 7 and Ashland nothing. Teams will change sides, and the Clockers have got to find a way to stop this multiple offense that the Newton South Lions are running, which is making huge chunks of yardage on almost every play since the very first one that the Clockers stuffed for a 3-yard loss.
We'll be coming around the stands. Drawing will be held at halftime.
Around the Tri-Valley League, this year it looks shaping up as another battle between Hopkinton and Bellingham, with Medfield and Medway trying to get into the mix, and Westwood as well for the league championship. Hopkinton, the defending champ, they went undefeated last year in the league with a big last second win over Bellingham on a field goal by the Revolution. The New England Revolution coach's son, Steve Nickel, kicking the winning field goal with no time left as Hopkinton beat Bellingham, and that made them the league champ. And they went on to the playoffs where they lost to Tingsboro. They finished the season 11-1. Hopkinton on a 17-game regular season, or Tri-Valley League win streak, I should say. Regular season win streak as well. And they've already won their first 2 this season. Right up the middle, breaks it a little bit to the left. And Tim Thomas got him after a 1-yard gain.
Brought down by Tom DeSalvo. Gain of about a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Lion QB gets the play from his coach, just like the Ashland quarterback does. His name again is Eric Jonash, number 12. 2 in the backfield, 1 in the slot in motion. He's going to pass. Smacked. Was it a fumble? I guess it is. First down, Ashland. It looked like his arm was going forward, but it was never called incomplete. They let it fall. The Clockers cover it. And it's Ashland ball in Newton territory at the Newton 44-yard line.
Newton South 44-yard line.
So let's see if the Clockers can capitalize. Second quarter action. Newton South 7, Ashland nothing. First down, Ashland. We go to the shotgun. Karat takes the good snap, wants to pass, lets it go downfield. Intended for Richwine and intercepted. Richwine and Ciccarella both in the same area, but never had a chance on that one. A well-thrown ball, but the Newton South defender right on it for the easy interception. The good news, they're pinned way back at their own 8-yard line, and they'll start there. So I'm going to reserve judgment as to whether or not the Clockers capitalize on that fumble recovery. Because if they can pin them back here, they can still make some hay here. But they've got to stop Newton South. They've got to stop that running game. The first passing attempt of the night by Newton South, a disaster resulting in a sack and a fumble. Uh-oh. A big run around the end. Did he step out? I hear whistles. He must have. And they call him out at the 31-yard line, but it's still a 23-yard gain, which is just too much. And they're out of trouble at their own 31. First down, Newton South. A little too much speed. A little too much size. Clock is really unable to stop Newton South. What do we got? Some kind of a penalty here. I didn't see a flag. Oh, now we're going to say, let's see.
Ball carrier was number 83, Peter Jarawi for.
No. Is everything all right? No, we're going to mark off something from where he went out of bounds. A mysterious violation. He sent them back 10 yards, perhaps a hold. So now they're back at the 21. Sticks aren't right. That should be a first down. A lot of confusion. Well, that's going to take care of that confusion, as that's another big first down out to the Newton South 45-yard line. So the Clocker defense in a lot of trouble now, as plays are starting to go for 20 yards a pop here.
Short amount needed for the first down. Newton South ran the ball by Houston up to the 45-yard line, so it'll be first and 10 for.
Clock is still looking very confused on defense. They've got to pack it tight. They got to forget about the pass completely and try to stop this run first.
DeSalvo, the tackler, on that play for the Clockers.
DeSalvo stops the running back after a 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1. As they're in Ashland territory, clock running as we go under 9 minutes in the first half. Famanya in and Tim Aaron's out. Coach Ruggles searching for a combination. The only freshman starting is Matt Kelleher, 34. He's a defensive back. He's got the wide out here on the left side, but I don't think they're going to be passing anytime soon. There's another big gain. Sets the Lions up at let's call it the 40. The Ashland 40, first down, another first down. Back to pass from the pocket, flags fly, wide open, nice catch. And a purported touchdown, but we'll see what the flag is. was thrown over here on the near sideline in front of the Ashland bench by the line judge, so I'm thinking offside.
The quarterback, pass receiver, it's for Kulov, but there is a flag on the play.
Oddly enough, they're talking to the Lions. Now the officials confer, and the Clocker captain gets into the conversation, which seems like a good thing, Mike Karat. And this is coming back. That touchdown will not count. A beautiful play.
Being marched off against Newton Sep.
Goes for naught.
The 40-yard pass for a touchdown is nullified.
They march off the 5, and it's a 1st and 15. So not only don't they get the touchdown, but they got a little hole here, the 15 yards to go now for a 1st down, and it gives the Ashland defense a little bit of a chance to maybe make a stop here. It's only 7-0. But somebody's going to have to make a play. Get these Lions thinking about the problems they may have. Right up the gut for about 10.
Hand off to Houston.
It's Jesse Hused making most of the carries tonight, but
Gain of about 5
Dion
on the
Benjamin
play. It'll be a second
looks like a
down.
player as well.
It was a 10-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 5 for the Lions.
Hused wears 45, and Benjamin wears 41, and we've got a timeout.
Timeout, Ashland.
So it's going to, when play resumes, it's going to be 2nd and 5. Clockers use a timeout with 7:28 left to go in the half. Coach Ruggles searching for a way to get this young team to make the plays necessary to pull one out of, get into the win column. Tri-Valley League had mixed results in these non-league games. Hopkinton won their 2, crushing Norwell and Bedford, scoring 74 points in the process. Division II teams, and they just rolled right over them. Ryan Shalosky, they're featured back this year. Coach Dave Hughes of the Hillers in his 26th season. Bellingham lost their excellent player, Ricky Santos, who went to UNH, but he's been replaced by a guy named Virgil Watson, so they'll be looking for big things from Virgil Watson this year. And they got a quarterback, Tyler Gasper. Of course, they have a new coach, Ted Rigney, a longtime assistant, has taken over for Dale Caparasso, the Bellingham coach, who went to Florida. All right, back to live action, 2nd and 5. 2 pass, the same play that went for 6, doesn't go for 6. Receiver took a dive and may have gotten the interference call. It looks like he just pretended that his legs were run over, and down he went. It's like Ciccarello was the defender, 26. Or it might have been number 20, Danny Norton. So that'll be 15 yards against Ashland and a 1st down.
Indeed, a pass interference penalty against Ashland on the play. It will be 15 yards assessed against the Clockers from.
It's a hold. I guess it was pass interference.
But it was from the second goal.
So that takes it down to the 18, and the Lions are going to start there. Big break for the Newton Lions, who really don't need it the way they've been moving the ball. So the Clockers got to dig in their heels again. They try a sweep to the left side. Who got him? Danny Norton, number 20, makes the stop. Good play by Norton. That's a loss.
Matt Baum, the ball carrier for Newton Sep. Dan Norton, the tackle for the Clockers. Loss on the play of about 5. It'll be 2nd and 15.
Second down 15 coming up, so here's a defensive opportunity for Ashland.
The Ashland 25.
Let's see if the Lions go to the air. Second and long, man in motion. Handoff goes inside and is stuffed. Good defensive play. Hector Famagna, 71.
That was Jesse Hurd, the ball carrier for Newton Sep.
And now Ashland has their best defensive opportunity. It's a 3rd and 14. Make it a 3rd and 15. No gain on that play. Famagna throwing his weight around, the sophomore. If they're going to pass, this is the situation. Straight back, fake. He wants to carry it himself. He doesn't get it. Doesn't get much at all. Danny Norton, another big play. Norton coming up big here. And a 4th down is coming up. A little bit long for a field goal. I'm going to guess they're going to have to go for it. Ball sitting and looks to be about the 24-yard line. They'll probably try that sideline pattern one more time. Eric Jonash has shown a pretty good arm. He had one right on the money that went for a touchdown that was called back on a penalty. He overthrew the second one, but they got bailed out by a pass interference. Let's see what they do here. In the pocket, he slings it, and a big play, and it's going to be very close to a 1st down. The Lions seem happy. So the town officials eyeballing it. I don't see any measurement. So it's either short, and the sticks are not moving. We're waiting. I don't see the yard marker. We wait. We wait. South calls a timeout. Are we going to have a measurement, or are they short? They must have a 1st down, because that was a 4th down play. The Clockers would be taking over if he didn't make it. Now we're going to have the official timeout. It looks to me like we're going to have a measurement, and we are. A slow developing measurement, if I may say so. And they've got it easily. First down, Newton South. Too bad. A good play, though. Just enough for the 1st down. Is that the first completed pass of the night? Goes for 15 yards and a 1st down. Now we're inside the 10 at the 8, 1st and goal. So the Clocker defense is going to have to get over that play in a hurry and rise again. Maybe they get another fumble. Lions would be fools not to just run this one in. They've had great success running. As they blast forward, the ball comes loose. It's in the end zone. Who's got it? Whistles, touchdown. The Lions recover in the end zone. I'm beginning to think it isn't Ashland's night when something like that happens. That ball, that fumble went about 15 feet sideways, squibbed into the end zone. There were no clockers handy. The Lions covered it and get a cheap 6, if I may say so. And with 4:44 left to go in the half, the score is Newton South 13, Ashland nothing, and there's an injured player down on the field. Can't tell you what team he's from. Blocked by the officials, who will continue to confer. I suppose it could have been called a forward lateral, but I don't think there's any question. He wouldn't be lateraling down there. That was a running play. I'm guessing it's a Lion from the looks of the people standing around him. Possibly the ball carrier. So we're going to have a timeout here to make sure the boys are all right. Before the extra point try, Newton South 13, Ashland nothing. 4:44 left to go. First half action at Harold Grump Walker Field. We mentioned Medfield and Westwood, both teams with TVL aspirations. TVL title aspirations, I should say. Medfield went 8-3 last year, and they won their game last week against Seekonk. They have a kid named Kevin Hall that rushed for 1,300 yards last year. Westwood walloped Division II Weston 31-12 in their first game this season, so they've got high hopes. Holliston's got a new coach, Todd Kiley, former Panther, member of their 1985 Super Bowl team. So he takes over a program that only won one game last year. He's only won 3 games in 2 years. Nothing to go but up. The extra point try never really gets underway as flags fly.
They were able to locate who went to recover the ball for Newton South in the end zone, but the touchdown was good. The extra point attempt.
Loads of confusion. Finally, we get the call. It's illegal procedure. Officiating crew really not crisp. I mean, everyone knew what that call was, but it just takes a long time to conference it and finally mark off the 5 yards. So 5 back he goes, but he's going to try it again. 35-yarder. It's up. It's sideways. It's good. 14-0. Nice kick. Timeout on the field. Newton South 14, Ashland nothing.
Walker Field is now Newton South 14 and Ashland 0.
Holston with a new quarterback this year, a kid from Holston who was going to Zavarian. Tyler Perino takes over a quarterback this year, so that gives them an influx of new blood. They lost their opener to Canton 16-13 in a game that featured about 5 field goals and went into overtime. The DS Raiders, they lost to Georgetown their first game. Not really a good sign. Georgetown, a tiny, tiny North Shore town. But they're coached by a longtime Ashland assistant, Dave DiGirolamo. And they're going to try to get used to life without Pat Bresnahan, who went to Arizona to play baseball. The Raiders handled the Clockers last year, and the Clockers will be looking for revenge down there this year. Richwine fumbles, picks up the kickoff, and is clotheslined at the 30, and the Clockers will start their 1st and 10. But they're down 2 touchdowns now, and they got 4:37 left in this half, so they really need to get some points on the board. The next touchdown is the big one. If the Lions go up 3, you got to figure that's it. If the Clockers get the next touchdown, then we got a game.
First down for the Clockers from their 30-yard line.
See if they open it up with the passing, although they really moved the ball pretty well their first 2 possessions. Interception ended the last possession on 1 play, but they had driven to the Newton South 8-yard line on their previous possession before the drive stalled, and the field goal attempt was unsuccessful. Second down and 6.5, we'll call it. Inside handoff. A tough yard or 2 by Michael, holding that one himself, I guess. And now it's 3rd and short. About 3. Haven't seen a screen pass from the 2003 Clockers yet. Haven't seen a pass to the tight end yet this season. Two wideouts to the right, Norton and Ciccarella. Karat keeps it after a collision in the backfield that may have cost him a few feet, but I think he's got a first down, as he's very close to the 40-yard line. Bad spot, puts it back at the 39 and makes it 4th down. Down 14-0 with 2:50 left to go in the first half and the clock running. With just a yard to go for the first down, I'm pretty sure Ashland's going to go for it, but they're going to need a little more time to think about this as Mike Karat calls a timeout.
Timeout, Ashland. It'll be a 4th down play. Less than
Coach Ruggles looks to the sky. Today was the day that Ashland received the rain from the remnants of Hurricane Isabel. The wind really wasn't much today, and now we have a pretty calm and cloudy night. Very humid. September 19th, 2003. Second home game of the season for Ashland. Lost a week ago to the Western Wildcats 12-7. Trail here 14-0. Clock is showing a lot of stick-to-itiveness. Who's got it? Up the middle. A big pile up, but I think he's got it. And now a late flag is thrown into the mix. A little hard feelings. Looks like to be something against the Clockers as I see Newton applauding. It is a first down, and now probably some kind of a dead ball penalty to be assessed. Holding against Ashland.
Okay, the first down stands. It's a dead ball penalty against the Clockers. Appears to be about 10 yards.
I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen here. The official made a big show of showing a first down.
Line of scrimmage is the 32. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Clockers.
Sticks don't seem right. A tough time last week for the chain gang, and more trouble again this week as longtime stalwart Mark Dassoni trying to break in a new crew. Now things seem to be straightened out. It's going to be a first down for Ashland, but they're back on their own 31-yard line. So they get to start over anyway. Karat handed it off. I'm guessing DeSalvo is underneath that pile. He picked up about, let's call it an inch, inch and a half, and second down coming up.
George for Newton. No gain on the play. It'll be a 2nd and 10.
Game getting bogged down now. We're under 2 minutes. Clock is with a long way to go. I think they'd like to get a first down here before they go to the air. Michael Karat. Now the pitch to the speedy Richwine. Breaks 2 tackles. Takes it into Weston. To Newton South territory at the 48. Beautiful option pitch. Timeout Ashland. Ball on the Newton 48-yard line, first down. 22-yard run by Richwine.
Big gain on the play down inside the 50-yard line. Line of scrimmage is about the 48. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Clockers.
That was just what Ashland needed.
And a timeout by Ashland.
And it gave Newton South something to think about. The option play. Clockers have been working on that in practice, but that's the first time they've used it in a game this season. Young as it is, this is the second game of an 11-game slate, 6 home games this year. Thanksgiving Day in Hopkinton. Richwine tries the left side, a lot of speed, and about a 4-yard gain.
Richwine brought down by Ted Schwartz. Gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Clockers.
Karat keeps it. Falls ahead for 3 more. 3rd and 2 coming up. 3rd and 3 coming up. Clock running. We're under 50 seconds. Clockers a little speed in their step as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Richwine in motion. Karat keeps it. Richwine blocking. Karat's got the first down. Ball on the 32-yard line. First down Ashland. And a timeout with 32 seconds left. No, they don't call a timeout. The clock stops to move the chains. Going to be a spike, and they do spike it. And now the clock is stopped with 25 seconds left. 25.3 as we have the 10th of the seconds now on the clock. Mike Karat doing a lot more running than he did in game 1 with a lot more success. Ball on the Newton 32-yard line. A second down coming up after the spike. And the clock is with just 25.3 seconds left to work with. Would love to get into the end zone before halftime. Actually, they'd love to get into the end zone anytime. Here we go. Straight back. Sets. Throws complete. Steve Ciccarella. He's inside the 15 at the 14. The clock stops as they move the chains. 19.7 left. Timeout Ashland.
Clockers have a first down on the Newton South 15-yard line.
The first reception of the game goes from Michael Karat to Steve Ciccarella. It's a 17-yard gain. You call it 18 yards. And another Clocker first down deep in Newton South territory. 19.7 seconds left. First down play coming up. pass right on the numbers. The timeout is over. The Clocker brass puts their instruments down. The big homecoming crowd looking on with anticipation. See if the Clockers can get in the end zone. They're going to split Danny Norton to the right, and I'm guessing Steve Ciccarella to the left. Richwine is in motion. Loose ball. Karat can't find the handle. Looks like the Lions have it, and indeed they do. A sad end to that drive. As Karat just could not find the handle, had an opportunity to pick it up, but just couldn't get himself set to pick that one up, and then finally was out of the play and overwhelmed by the Lion defenders. So the Lions take over with just 14 seconds left, deep in their own territory. The knee would be the correct call, but you never know. They do take the knee, and that's going to be the first half. As far as Coach Ruggles is concerned, it is, as he leads his team into the locker room. Time expires in the first half, and we're going to take a break with the score. The Newton South Lions 14, the Ashland Clockers nothing, and the second half will be coming up in about 15 seconds. Stay with us. Second half, Clockers coming out of the locker room rather slowly. Just a slight jog as they come from the school to their sideline. They're trailing 14-0. It's not insurmountable, but they've dug themselves a little bit of a hole. The Newton South Lions have the lead, and the Clockers are trying to figure out a way at halftime to come back and score some points and make a game out of this. It's a great night. It's homecoming here. And the Clockers made a fairly good showing offensively in the first half, but mistakes and turnovers really hurt them badly. And the defense has to figure out a way to stop the Newton South Lions, who have moved the ball pretty well when they've had the chance here tonight at the Grump. The captains come out to reenact who'll be kicking off, who'll be receiving. Mike Karat is 22. Tim Thomas is 56. They're the seniors. They're the co-captains on the club this year. As they talk to the officials. I've noticed tonight everything with this officiating crew takes a long, long time. The Clockers are going to receive to start the second half, and they're going to be heading towards the school. Karat, Richwine, and DeSalvo had most of the carries in the first half. And the only passing went to Steve Ciccarella. See if they mix it up a little more with a few more passes here in the second half. Try something downfield to get on the board. The Lions
Lions are going to like things just the way they are, as they've built a 14-0 lead. They'll be kicking off probably to Mike Richwine. He's the one that Coach Ruggles wants to take those kickoffs back. He wears number 5. Some teams will try to angle it away from the returner, but a lot of teams aren't willing to take that chance. They just tell their kicker to boom it right down the center of the field, afraid if they tell him to angle, it'll go out of bounds. And the clock starts when the ball is touched, and it is Richwine at about the 20. Finds a small opening. Burrows his way ahead. And Ashland's going to start at about their own 30-yard line. See what kind of a backfield quarterback Mike Carrat has. Ciccarella, 26, is going to come to the right as the wide out. We're in the wishbone. Inside handoff to 45 to Salvo, who breaks it to the outside, breaks a couple of tackles, really runs hard before the Lions bring him down. Looks like a first down. It is. We'll mark it at the 46, 1st and 10 Ashland. Third quarter action, Walker Field. Clockers in all blue. Newton South in white. Up the middle is DeSalvo. Again, a tough 4 yards out to midfield. DeSalvo and Richwine are sophomores. 8 sophomores starting the game for Ashland. Only 4 seniors and 4 juniors on the team. Coach Ruggles in the 3rd year of a 5-year rebuilding program, trying to get the Clockers back on the winning track. Carrat has it, fakes the pitch, takes it himself, has first down yardage and a little more, and quite a bit more. All the way down, let's see, to the Newton South, looks to be the 37-yard line. Another Ashland first down. So the fake option worked perfectly that time. As Mike Carrat adds to his total. Shaping up as a big night for Mike Carrat, rushing in. He hasn't really thrown the ball very much. Clocker's reluctant to pass. Fumble. South says they have it. And they're right, they do. Number 64. So the Lions have the ball again, as the Clockers have stopped themselves with a fumble. Already down 14-0. They can't afford to give up too much. Next touchdown, the 3rd touchdown, always the pivotal touchdown in this situation. If South gets it, that pretty much guarantees they're going to win. The Clockers get it, we've got a game. Up the middle, a tough 6 yards. 2nd down coming up. Second and 5, we'll call it. Two in the slot, one in the backfield. In motion. He got it, but wasn't done properly, apparently, as we've got one of those illegal procedure flags. There's the signal by the official. It's against South, so they're going to go back to where they were, where they started, 5 yards back. Only it'll be second down again. Different formation this time. Two in the backfield, one in the slot. It's a pass. It's complete. It's a first down and a little more. Beautifully executed play. A nice 15-yard pickup and a Newton South first down. Clock is still searching for that elusive defensive stop. They've tried everything, but the Newton South Lions keep pulling something out of a hat to give themselves another first down. Same formation. Only the receiver on the right side goes in motion to the left. They try the left side of the Ashland line, and they get nothing, and they lose. Jeff DeLuca. Filled up the gap on that left side. Second down and long. Choli, Thomas, DeSalvo, DeLuca, Richwine, all in the mix for the Clocker D. And that one just went right up the middle for a touchdown. And that happened mighty fast. We'll call that 35 yards. And the score goes to 20-0 with the point after touchdown to come. They're going to try to place kick it. It's up. It's good. Timeout on the field. Newton South 21, Ashland nothing. A beautiful misdirection play goes the length of the field. That was a second and 11 or thereabouts. Once again, the Clockers had hopes of maybe stopping the Lions, getting a defensive stop under their belts. But once again, the Lions said no, as they've run some beautiful offensive plays which have worked like a charm against the young Clocker D. So we get ready for another kickoff. 6:50 left to go in the third period. Tonight's game being played on September 19th, 2003. Coming to you on Wednesday night and every Wednesday night, live on tape on Channel 10, the school channel. You won't see it anywhere else. Michael Richwine one more time. Up the gut. Disappears in a cloud of dust as they pile on him. We'll call it the 37. Ashland will start there. Plenty of time left in this game, but the Clockers have to break the ice offensively to charge themselves up and their fans. A lot of school spirit today before the game. Big rally. Michael Karat's got 10, 15, 20. Deep into Newton South territory. He could go all the way. They trip him up at the 7, and he's down at the 4. Mike Karat, 60-plus yards. I think he was motivated by that fumble on the last Ashland series. He just took that ball and would not be denied. As he came around the right side, got some good blocking on that side. Just got tripped up on his ankle. Fell forward inside the 5-yard line. First and goal, Ashland. Well, just as we hoped for, the Clockers are now charged. They give him a nice spot around the 2, it looks like. Let's see if Mike calls his own number again. Actually, Coach Ruggles calls these plays. No one in the backfield. Up the middle, Karat. We wait for the signal. There it is, touchdown Ashland. Clockers on the board. 21-6 with Joey Nagelbird's point after touchdown coming up. Lightning quick strike by the Clockers, their longest play from scrimmage this season. A 62-yard run by Mike Karat, the quarterback. Then he takes it in himself from the 2 yards out. Here's the point after, snap back ball down. It's up. It looks good. It is good. 21-7, 5:53 to go in the 3rd period. And it's amazing how a touchdown can change things around. There was a lot of school spirit today inside the school, and now it's coming out onto the football field as Ashland and Mike Karat now have something to cheer about, or Karat has given Ashland something to cheer about with an electrifying 62-yard run. So the Clockers now know it is possible to score on this Newton South Lions. They've had 2 penetrations deep inside Lion territory, getting to the 8 once and getting to the 15. One missed field goal, another one fumbled away. But they break the ice here. Now it's time for that elusive defensive stand. There's been no punts by either team in this ball game. And Newton South has pretty much had their way on offense. Up to Coach Ruggles to come up with some kind of a combination. South not particularly big, but they have a lot of experience on their team, a lot of upperclassmen, and the skill positions look to be very, very good, and they look well coached as they've run some beautiful textbook plays on offense. And although the running game has been very, very successful, they've shown that they can pass as well. So that's a difficult task for Ashland as they have to defend the pass and the run. Nagelberg booms it, but it doesn't go very far. South takes it up near midfield, and they'll start with fantastic field position. With their lead now cut to 21-7. First down. They try the right side. Only 4. 2nd and 6 coming up. Matt Kelleher, 34, the lone freshman starter, assisting on the tackle. One tailback in this formation, 2 in the slot, 1 split right, 1 in motion. He gets it. First man got it. Get close to a first down. The officials may want to measure or may give it to him. We'll see. Clock is stopped while they sort it out. It is a first down. Once the sticks are moved, the clock will restart. They don't even wait. They restart it now. Got just enough. So once again, Ashland just not able to even get Newton South in a 3rd or 4th down situation. Same formation as last play. See what they do this time. They mix it up. First man through again. Bulls ahead. Gets a good 8-9 yards, which is just way too much on any play, let alone a first down play. You can't really pack it in against the Lions because they showed a very good ability to pass. Second and short. He fights to get free, but he does it this time. Tim Thomas said nothing doing. Third down. Nope. Let's see. We have a measurement. 3rd and short. Play comes in rather slowly from the south sideline. The receiver splits wide left. Long count, man in motion. He gets the football, tries the right side, does the little spin move. Gets 3 or 4 yards, but more than enough for a first down. Clock continues to run here on the 3rd period. Lions in no particular hurry. They have a 21-7 lead. Clock is mixing it up and spreading it out on defense. Alex Mola, 52, getting into position. The rush, the blitz. He breaks it by breaking it to the outside. But Choli finally runs him out of bounds. As the Newton South QB Cornish elected to avoid the hit and just run out of bounds. Play you don't often see it at the high school level. Usually the kids feel it's some kind of a badge of honor to let yourself be completely creamed in bounds before they will ever just run out of bounds. They usually put the brakes on and then put the head down and the shoulder down and let 8 guys tackle them before they would ever think of running out of bounds. They're short. But maybe he should have put his head down. Maybe that was the situation where he shouldn't have gone out of bounds. South methodically marching down the length of the grump. Fumble. Who's got it? No real excitement in blue, so it looks like the Lions have retained possession. Indeed, they have. Lost a couple of inches. Play late coming in. Must be tricky. Let's see if they're going to try to throw it downfield here. Take advantage of the Clockers, who are in a goal line type defense, although they're really not, as they spread pretty far. They blast up the middle, and it's going to be close. The Lions think they have it. And now the officials decide that they should measure. So there's an official timeout. And as we wait for this exciting measurement, we can tell you that, as part of the homecoming ritual, you have your king and your queen and all the classes have their court and everything, And as far as I've determined, the king of the senior class was none other than Jonathan Alves, and the queen was Jacqueline Zawada. Now the other classes all had kings and queens, or dukes and duchesses and everything else, but I'm not sure. Let's see if I can find out who took those awards. Great tribute from their peers. Okay, here we go. Back to football. They pass. Deep. Complete. Is he in? Indeed he is. Touchdown. What a play. A back-breaking touchdown by Newton Sep. That runs it to 27-7. We're still in the third period, but the touchdown that the Clockers just got a few minutes ago that gave them hope, that gave them life, taken away, or gotten back, I should say, by the Lions. We go for 4 for 4, and we've got 4 for 4 on the extra points. Excellent. 28-7. Newton Sep leads. Still lots of action coming. Still over 11 minutes left to play. Another kickoff coming up.
Huge holes on every play, and their speedy backs know just what to do. And Eric Jonas shows that he can throw the ball as well. He's had one touchdown called back, but he just completed his first touchdown pass of the night a moment ago. He's got... So you're combining about 50 yards in passing with over 200 yards in rushing, and we still have a whole quarter and 3 minutes to go, or a whole quarter and 30 seconds to go. And you can see that Newton Sep has had a very, very good night offensively.
That start kickoff is fielded by Tim Thomas of the Clockers.
Clockers starting where they usually start, somewhere between the 30 and the 40. This one's out to the 40. Thomas actually handled this one. Tim Thomas, the senior co-captain. Good field position, no question about it. But that last drive has made this a very tall order for the Ashland offense. But they've still got 22.9 seconds left in the third period. A long way to go. Plenty of time to have some fun and get some points. Karat again. Not this time. They're all over him. Let's see how many yards Mike has tonight.
Loss of 2 yards will be 2nd and 12 for the Clockers.
Unofficially, 117 yards on 13 carries for Mike Karat, the Ashland captain. Make that 118 yards on 13 carries. As I check my math. Fourth quarter is about to start. The teams are going to change sides. Clockers will be heading away from the school for the rest of this game. Next week, the Midway Mustangs come to the Grump Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Ashland against Medway. Bellingham, Millis also coming to Ashland this year, two excellent teams. I have hopes for Medway because they're a very small team, very much like Ashland, small and fast. So I think that could be a very, very competitive game and a good matchup for Ashland.
Brought down by Ted Schwartz. Gain of 8. Third and 8.
Third down coming up, 2 to go for a first down. Clock is getting close to midfield. Tommy D up the middle. And it looks to me like he's got a first down.
Looks like it's enough for a first down. Mike.
And it is. First down, Ashland.
Salvo on the carry for the Clockers, good for a
As
first
they've
down.
gone into Newton South territory at the Newton South 48.
Newton South 48-yard line.
Ciccarella comes out, and Joey Nagelberg is going to get a chance at split end. It's a running play
Salvo on the
to
carry.
DeSalvo, a tough 3 yards. Let's check Tommy's stats tonight.
First hit by Ted
12,
Schwartz.
26, 30, 30, 41,
4, it'll be 2nd and
51, 57 yards on 14 carries. Tough yards, too, every one of them, right up the middle. Taking an awful pounding, but a very reliable ball carrier and a very tough ball carrier. Mike keeps this one, and he's got some room. First to the outside and dragged down.
Mike Karat.
Close to a first down, but I don't think he has it. About the 39. They got to get to the 38. And that's going to bring up a third down. Coach Ruggles gives Mike the play. He tells the team, and here they go.
3rd and 2.
Richwine in motion. DeSalvo up the middle. Looks like a first down. As it goes close to the 45, 46-yard line.
DeSalvo, first down Clockers.
Tommy's 15th carry of the night. Of course, all the statistics here, more than just unofficial, grossly unofficial. Richwine, did he get it? No. Carrot to pass. Ciccarella's wide open, touchdown! On the fly pattern. Steve Ciccarella, his first career touchdown. Carrot to Ciccarella. 38 yards to pay dirt. Ciccarella's second catch of the game and his first career touchdown for the sophomore. 7:37 to go, 28-13, Nagelbird's extra point coming up. Scott Picard, the holder. And he's a quarterback, although it's really not a go-for-two type situation. Nagelberg lets it fly. His best kick ever is good again. Joey 3 for 3 on the season, 2 for 2 tonight, 28-14. And there's still 7:37 to go, a long time. So just when you think the Clockers are dead, they strike. Lightning strikes again. Two big plays. The 62-yard run by Mike Carrot and the 38-yard pass from Carrot to Ciccarella has brought Ashland to within 2 touchdowns. But once again, the defense is going to have to do something. I don't know if they might even try an onside kick here. They haven't been getting much more than that by kicking squib kicks or deep kicks or whatever they are. The ball ends up around midfield every time anyway. They haven't been able to pin Newton South too deep. No punts in the game tonight by either team, as far as I can remember. If Nagelberg hits one like he hit that extra point, the Clockers may have a chance to keep Newton South from having that real good field position they've been enjoying all night. And Joey does boom this one back to around the 20, or the 10 rather. But once again, we're up to the 40. And a vicious, it's a fumble, Mike Richwine down the sideline. He's out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. That ball popped loose right into the hands of Mike Richwine. He knew what to do. He headed straight for the end zone. Took it all the way back to the Newton South 15-yard line. First down, Ashland. I was watching some particularly vicious tackling when I noticed Richwine had the ball. Houston saves the touchdown for Weston. Tim Thomas made the big hit that shook that one loose. And this Clocker team won't quit. The Newton South Lions must be saying to themselves, what more do we have to do? Conference between the Ashland coach and the officials on that play. I got the ball marked at the 15, first down Ashland. The conference is over. Someone called the timeout. Gives both teams a breather and me as well. 7:22 to go. Newton South 28, Ashland 14. Newton South, of course, a Division II team playing out of the Dual County League, a league Ashland was in the 60s. Before the Tri-Valley League was formed in the early 70s. Oh, an anxious bunch of Clockers up to the line as they go to the wishbone. Richwine loses ground. First time tonight we've seen that wishbone formation, the Y formation, with 3 in the backfield. didn't really work there as
Loss of three.
Ashland takes a 3-yard loss on that play.
Second and 13 coming up for the
Big
Clockers.
fumble recovery by Mike Richwine has given the Clockers some real hope as they're inside the Newton South 20, a second down play coming up. The wishbone is abandoned. They go back to the formation they've been using all night with Richwine in motion, and Karat fumbles on the pitch. Richwine covers it, but it's a huge loss. Clockers going backwards, now outside the 30.
By Mike Richwine, the Clockers still have the ball.
That's going to bring up a third and more than I can count. Looks to be about 25, 26 yards, maybe more. .25, yeah. Timeout, Ashland. Let's get organized. I think that play was supposed to be a pitch, but Richmond was not in position for it. Karat let it go anyway, even though it was not lined up properly. Unfortunately, Michael was able to cover the fumble without too much difficulty, no one around him. Now we go to the plays we saw, the formation we saw at the end of the Weston game. Picard comes in for the sideways center. He looks a little confused. I think it's part of the act. Who's going to get the snap? It goes directly to Richwine. They're all over it. They remembered it from last week's tape. And now it's 4th and even longer, 4th and 30. Ashland pushed back all the way to the 35-yard line. They've got to go to the 5 to get a first down, and it's 4th down. I would guess they'll try something with Ciccarella or Norton, similar to what scored the touchdown, but this is a very tall order for any offense. And then again, they might try that pitch to Richwine, or Karat might carry it himself. Try to do something like he did on his 62-yard run. Either way, it's going to be out of a shotgun. Tommy DeSalvo's behind the quarterback. Michael's got it, looks downfield, now takes it, now lets it go. A collision, incomplete. For a split second, it looked like Jeff DeLuca had that one, but it falls incomplete, and the ball goes over to Newton South on downs.
Caught by Danny Norton, almost enough for a first down, but it's ruled incomplete. And Newton South will take
Almost.
downs.
Almost a great effort. Things just went wrong on that right from the beginning, and now a flag is thrown a mile, hours after the play. I'm guessing it's against the Ashland coaching staff. Well, I'll have to look that one up. Did he throw it over when he was past the line of scrimmage? Let's see what the signal was. Yeah, that's the call. He was across the line. Mike Karat was across the line of scrimmage when he let that baby go. And that's not allowed. The Lions don't mind that penalty. They're not going to take it. And it'll be first down, Lions at the 40. Inside the 40, 39 we'll call it.
Just short of their 40.
So I guess they get that penalty anyway. Loss of down, of course, on that play as well. Up the middle. Nothing doing. We need a few more of those, because they've been few and far between tonight.
That was Jesse Hewson, wrapped up by Jeff DeLuca and Mike Perry on the play.
2nd and 9.
Gain of about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
They try the left side. No success. 2-yard gain.
2 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Clock running, under 4 minutes left in this game. Newton South 28, Ashland 14. A pass play, can you believe it? And it's complete. It almost went for a touchdown. But it went 30 yards to the Ashland 20, and a big, big play. As John Ash continues to show a very nice passing touch and a very well executed passing game by the Newton South Lions. That's their 4th completion of the night. Getting close to 100 yards passing. In addition to over 200 yards rushing tonight. Clockers need some magic here. As the big back takes it around the right side. It's old number 41, Deion Benjamin. We got a flag. Or 2. It's in that holding area. Indeed. Either holding or a block in the back. It is the block in the back against the Lions. It's a pretty big penalty. 15 in total. It's still a first down, but a long way to go now. 25 yards for a first down. They've got to go to the 10, and they're on the 35. Or they're on the 30, rather. 10-yard penalty. Yeah, they're on the 32, so must be a spot of the foul penalty. Maybe a yard. 2nd down coming up. But boy, 2 minutes have melted off the clock. We're now heading up to 2 minutes left in the game. Ashland down 2 touchdowns. And they have to take a timeout to stop this, or the whole game will run out on them. Got to go for the ball. Got to get a turnover. Clockers were very fortunate that Newton South was passing, as that's a very iffy thing. It's an opportunity to get an interception, a turnover, and but Newton South has completed those passes when they've attempted them, and that has only added to the misery of the Ashland defense tonight. They've given it everything they have, and they've tried everything on defense, but the Lion offense has been relentless. Clockers have 3 pretty deep because they're going to pass, and indeed they are. Not this time. Jonash sacked for a huge loss. Alex Mola did it. The senior, number 52. Tremendous sack. All the way back to the 43-yard line, as Ashland has done to Newton South what Newton South did to Ashland when they got deep into opponent's territory, and that is to push them back. Another timeout, 2:03 to go. Newton South 28, Ashland 14.
Make that official. 3rd and
A very nice night for homecoming and another very interesting and exciting game here at the Grump. Clock is giving it everything they have. 2 touchdowns on the board against a very good Newton South team. Next week, Medway. Then the Clockers go to Holliston. Then Bellingham at home. The Dover-Sherburne Raiders. A night game at Dover-Sherburne. Then a home game against the Millis Mohawks. Then away at Norton, away at Westwood. And then Medfield High, the last home game of the season for Ashland. Thanksgiving Day at Hopkinton this year. That's the remaining schedule. Here comes that 3rd down play. Clock is dropping off as if they're expecting a pass. It's sort of an inside reverse. And it creates a wide open space for number 41, Dion Benjamin, who breaks several tackles and takes it all the way to the house. As they say, a 41-yard run for Dion Benjamin. Man, oh man, they're heading towards 300 yards rushing tonight. As the Clockers just have not been able to stop the run tonight, or the pass for that matter.
That was Dion Benjamin.
But
43-yard run for a touchdown on a 3rd and 33.
the Clockers were expecting pass that time. They had their defensive backs off the line of scrimmage, and that created the kind of space that play by Benjamin needed. And it went all the way. And Matt Starr, Mr. Automatic, just like Joey Nagelberg. All the extra points have been good tonight, and it's 35-14 with 1:49 to go. Newton South with the lead.
So it's 1:49 to go here in the game. It's now Newton South.
Coach Ruggles still coaching, and the Clockers still fighting right to the last second. But they're down 3 touchdowns now with just 1:49 to go. But what an effort this team has put forth tonight. Giving it everything they have. Carrot with the touchdown. Steve Ciccarello with the touchdown. Very exciting plays. Richwine, a big fumble recovery return. Clockers have had some exciting plays already in this young season. I get ready to take another kickoff. Richwine, Ciccarello, and Kelleher line it up. Let's see who gets this one. Richwine has handled all but one tonight, Meyer Emery. This is a squibber. They try to keep it away from him. It goes to the up man, Mark Paccioli, who is also a very good runner. Mark gets it out very close to midfield, shows a lot of toughness, carrying 3 tacklers with him as he fell forward. Ashland starting near midfield, 1:39 to go.
That was Mark Paccioli returning the kickoff for the Clockers.
Let's see what other thrills the Ashland offense has for us left tonight as time is running out.
Ball is on the Ashland 47-yard line. Penalty flag before the ball is snapped.
Five-yard penalty, timeout. Newton South. Type of substitution, too many men type penalties, as I'm guessing that the coach, Rich Quigley, is clearing his bench now. Always a lot of confusion when the second and third teams enter the game. No one's exactly sure where they're supposed to be. Always requires a timeout to get everything all squared away and set up. Clockers seem to be going with their starting offense. They're going to start off with a 1st and 5 in Lion territory at about the 47.5. Mike Carrat, unofficially 124 yards on 14 carries. Tommy DeSalvo, 60 yards on 15 carries. Michael Richwine, 23 yards on 4 carries. Ciccarella, 2 receptions for a total of 56 yards. And Mike Carrat has thrown 1 interception and 1 incompletion, I guess.
1st and 5 for the Clockers.
2 incompletions. He wants to pass this time. And it was very, very close to be completed to Danny Norton, but Danny had to go into a dive there, or was that Ciccarella? One of the two. I guess it was Chick.
2nd and 5.
Chick wears 26, Norton wears 20. So Carrat now 2 for 5 with 1 touchdown and 1 interception tonight passing. Shotgun. He's going to carry this one. The quarterback draw goes very close to a first down. Looked a little bit short to me. No huddle. Clock running. 3rd and 1. Another keeper up the middle goes for a good 6-7 yards. Mike up to 135 yards now rushing. 56 passing. That's a heck of a night. The quick out. Complete to Norton, and a flag flies as Norton picks up about 8. See who this flag is on. Clockers look like they want to go backwards. They're acting as though it's against them. Now, holding against Ashland. 10 yards from the spot. Repeat first down. And we end up with a 1st and 14. Ashland ready to go. 43 seconds left. Clock running. The bomb to Ciccarella. Wide open. He's got it. He falls down at the 4. The clock will stop for the chain gang. 34.6 seconds. Inside the 5-yard line. Carrat to Ciccarella. For the 3rd time tonight.
It'll be a 1st and goal from the 3.
1st and goal. Confusion reigns and timeout is called by the Lions as they're going to try to get their defense ready, fearing that they would just snap it. Carrat take it right up the middle for a touchdown before they were ready. I'm guessing that would have been the call. Don't know if Ashland has any timeouts left.
That was a 35-yard completion.
But with 31.5 seconds left, Ashland wants another touchdown. They trail 35-14.
Clockers have a 1st down at about the 1st and goal from about the 3-yard line.
But a very exciting 30-yard strike from Carrat to Ciccarella. Ciccarella 86 yards in receptions tonight. 94 yards passing for Mike Carrat on top of 135 rushing. Clockers play every game right down to the last play. Picard lining up at quarterback. Carrat is in the backfield. He gets the call and takes it in. Scott Picard at quarterback. His first career snap as a quarterback for the Clockers, the freshman. Hands it off to big Mike Carrat, who carries it in. So Mike Carrat adds his second touchdown of the night to his resume, and he's also passed for one. 137 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing, 1 touchdown passing, 94 yards passing.
3-yard run for a touchdown.
And Nagelberg, looking for his 3rd extra point of the game, nearly topples the official. Snapback ball down low and wild to the left. And Nagelberg's perfect record goes by the boards, but he's still 2 for 3 tonight, 3 for 4 in the season. And Ashland has scored 20 points. They trail 35-20, but there's still 26.6 seconds left. And if I know Coach Ruggles and the way he's been coaching this team for the last 3 years, we're going to see an onside kick, and the clock is diving for that ball, so they'll have to look for a chance for more points. The Lions don't even know what side of the field they're supposed to be on. Confused Ashland as well. Now they're straightened out. Onside kick. Caught and handled it with just the slightest bobble by the Lions. Of course, in high school football, when you're down, like college, when you're down, you're down. You do not have to be touched. So he was pretty much down when he caught that.
First down from their own 45-yard line.
Kick went about 14 yards, so it was the required distance. Timeout Ashland with 22 seconds left. The Lions are the first down. See if they run a play, take a knee, what are they going to do? They didn't realize Ashland had called timeout. See what Coach Ruggles has in mind for these final 22 seconds. If there's a 15-point defensive play that can be made, I'm sure he knows about it. They're gonna try something. There's a lot of conversation going on there on the Ashland sideline. Gonna try to shake that ball loose some way, somehow. Of course, they're hoping the South runs a play and doesn't just take a knee. Oh, and I see the reason now is that he's got all his second string players in. Tyler Knapp, 44, into the game. Ryan Wilkinson, number 30, into the game. Big number 74, Sad Sam Wells on the field for the first time. Russ Daly, 18, in action. 25, Nick Anderson. Picard, number 1, of course. And there is the knee. So the backup second unit for Ashland gets to bump in to some Newton South players. John Hughes, 64, is out there as the time is going to run out here. And this one is over. As Coach Ruggles goes across the field to congratulate his counterpart. The final score, the Newton South Lions 35, the Ashland High School Clockers 20. And another great night at Walker Field, but the result wasn't quite what we wanted. But one of these nights